by implication C, to the development of the region, fast track the development, and help to move the region to the next level, which is the key policy thrust of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. This is our first major interaction. I have an official address to present to you, but I'll probably give you so that you go home and digest. First, let me join the Lady MC to apologize for starting late. We had a little scuffle on the road for many of you, attacks on Nigerians in South Africa. Quite unfortunate that the police have moved in. I think by now they must have brought it under control. But I thank God that you all arrived safely and unhurt. So thank God for your safety. And I pray that when you are going back, you go back safely.
Amen. Amen.
Normally, I speak with a lot of large tone, but in the meeting that we are going to have, we have two segments. Since we have the press with us, we just do this formal welcome. And then we have another segment where we'll discuss key issues. I had intended making a very long speech, but when the Honourable Minister of State spoke, he summarized it by saying that you will agree with him that the NDDC had not actually lived up to its responsibility. The impact of NDDC on the entire Niger Delta region would have been more, but for most of those things militating against development, personal interests, political intrigues, interferences here and there, and even a tussle amongst you. And then you tend to forget, when you are in your offices, you tend to forget the millions of the suffering Niger Deltans. And then you look at the money that is coming in as money that should be used to sweep the road, to buy cutlasses, to even buy chalk for classrooms and the rest of them, and not something that should alleviate the living standard of the people, that should clean the environment, that should ensure that the air is clean, that should create employment opportunities, that should leave lasting legacies on ground. And therefore, since the days of Paddock, you started a headquarters building. Unfortunately, 20 years after, you have not been able to complete it. I can tell you a sister agency that within the same Niger Delta, the Local Content Development Authority, that started its own 16-story building. And they met with me last week and said that by next month, they will be inviting me and Mr. President to come to Yenagoa to commission that building. I think they've started moving it. I thought you would clap for the in clapping for the authority. For those of you who have been in NDDC, right from the days of Ampadek to today, you should also have a little bit of sober reflection. You should think inwards and say, yes, I'm getting my salaries and emoluments, but how far have I fared? How far has the NDDC fared? So it is a meeting to appraise where we are today, where we ought to be, and where we are going. I speak as a Niger Delta. I speak as somebody, if saddled with responsibility, I will perform. I speak as somebody whose track record speaks for itself. I don't want a situation whereby you look at me as a politician. Politicians speak with both sides of the mouth. And somebody was referring to me as an uncommon transformer. I had the privilege of running a state. I also had the privilege of being commissioner for 6 years. I made impact that are indelible. I dare say that I'm the only Nigerian governor ever recognized for his performance by the United States Congress. And I must also tell you that I'm also the only one ever recognized and honored by the Nigerian Defense Academy. No other governor has been so honored. I was awarded a doctorate degree in management sciences by the Nigerian Defense Academy, amongst over 30 other institutions that have honored me. So you have before you a representative of Mr. President, who is very poised and determined to work with the ministry, to work with all of you, if you so wish, to redirect the Niger Delta Development Commission. There's a community in my place, or is it, Ogoni or so, or Ikotabasi, thereabout, that they call Ikora Dauda. We had oil spill, not oil spill, oil was coming out of the ground because of an abandoned well for a long time, and hectares of expanse of land, got lost. Nothing could be planted on it. I believe that the mandate of my ministry also includes remediation, and I believe that the mandate of the NDC includes intervention. And I watch horrified that for year after year, the people are attempting to use the soil. Nothing is coming out. Today in the Niger Delta, even where you have spills, you have aquatic life. People go out to go and fish, they bring out their fish. You know about the acid rain. You know about the destruction of infrastructure. You know about the people suffering from cancer and all sorts of things. And most especially, you know about the militancy that through the intervention of late President Yar'Adua, may he so rest in perfect peace, we now had the amnesty program that enabled people to come back to the region. And therefore the NDDC was strategic. NDDC was not just brought out, it was a child of necessity. But I always want to advise that a child that was born out of rape should not allow the circumstances of his or her birth to mar her future. Our future lies in our hands. Many of you are Nigerians. Whether you are from a Niger Delta or not, the core mandates are very clear. But just like the Minister of State pointed out, I believe that the NDDC has not performed well. I don't want to say that you have failed the region, but I'm saying you have not performed well. Because when I saw many of you looking so robust, I realized that at least you have not failed your families. And so that is why I said you have not failed the region. So if you are looking so healthy, and all of you are looking like managing directors of 5-star banks, therefore you have not failed your families. But I don't know how far the people on the streets have gone. There are a lot of complaints all over. Even the youths of the Niger Delta, the real youths of the Niger Delta, who undertook what you call just clearance of water hyacinths, they have not been paid. Those that are paid are political youths, not the real youths. People that you owe just 500,000 to 1 million are over 400, and they have been going to NDDC for 10 years. The money has not been given to them. We talk about NDDC as if it is a cash cow. But today I know that NDDC, in terms of debts, at least what you pile up, you are owing over 2 trillion. Am I right or wrong? Yes. MD, am I right? Yes. You are owing over 2 trillion. And some of those things are real and some are imagined. And the problem we are having is that you won't even know the ones that are real when they are mixed with the ones that are political. And the result is that somebody who took a loan to do a real job for the NDDC probably has died, leaving his family in penury. So that's why I said it's a period for sober reflection. And this meeting is more than essential. I could have read an address to you, but I just said, let me tell you my mind. My mind is that we have to refocus the NDDC. I want to thank President Muhammadu Buhari for his vision of ceding his powers in the Act, particularly in Section 7, Subsection 3. The power of control, the power of redirection, the power of directives, the power of supervision, and the power of generally ensuring that NDDC lives to the yearnings of the people. He stated that to the Honorable Minister of the Niger Delta. And so you should get worried that I'm the one here. If any of you is not worried, then there's a problem. We'll do a forensic analysis and audit. We will try to go backwards, even from the year 2000 up till now, to know what came in, what went out, and why we have not seen much on ground. We will stop you from doing politically motivated roads, where you just go down, even on black soil, you will go and pour asphalt, and then commission it, and the first rain that comes, it washes it away. We will try to stop you from keeping your headquarters for 20 years, since the days of AK Oxford, without commissioning it up till now, and yet the monies that come in and go out, even on where Mayor Water Hyson could have finished that building a long time ago. We'll stop you from paying 200 to 300 million a year as rent on the headquarters you are staying. I thought you should be ashamed of that, to be able to be paying the state government over 200 to 300 million a year. Am I right?
No.
For your headquarters building, when you could have completed where you are and moving. How come we don't have legacy projects in Niger Delta to show? I think these are the concerns of Mr. President. And he decided that the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs should exercise his own authority, the supervising authority, the controlling authority, and see how we can do everything to help this major commission to go take the people of Niger Delta to the next level. With strong collaboration between the ministry and the NDDC, I see a brighter future. I don't want to just look back alone and say, oh, we have failed. If we have failed, what next do we do? That's why this meeting was called. We will appraise how far we have gone. We will look at where we are today. And at the same time, we will now look at where we ought to be or where we are going. And therefore, the first thing we did before coming to you was to work in collaboration with your financial agencies to stop all payments that we have met in the last 1 month. The banks are going to refund all the payments that have been made in the last 1 month, so that we find out whether there was anything like asset stripping as a result of lack of leadership in the NDDC. And so pending the upcoming board of the commission, we will look at the things you have done in the short term, and then in the long term, we'll now do the forensic audit, which I believe you all would like to see. I don't know whether I'm speaking your minds. Yes. Then we now realign your programs. We are working on the budget for 2020, and we want to change the modus operandi of the NDDC to work on the budget of legacy. President Muhammadu Buhari is also very worried. He wants to see something on the ground. He wants to commission legacy projects in the Niger Delta. He wants to leave a good name. He wants to be remembered as that president who came and stopped the bargainization and the splitting of contracts and in fact, the idea of let me just say politically motivated projects.
Yes.
We are well poised to work with you because we have 9 offices in the Niger Delta. The ministry has 9 offices who will be in a position to work. As the National Assembly is also oversighting you, the ministry will work in collaboration with you, and they can oversight both the NDDC as well as the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. We are also going to be working with you to look at what the IOCs are also doing. We'll work with you to see what other development partners are doing in the region. We'll work with you to also ensure that there is no duplication of functions between the NDDC or the ministry and the state governments. There must be that synergy in terms of the altruistic development of the Niger Delta. If we do not do so, then we will all collectively agree that we have failed. And we will work also with you and with other partners to ensure that the idea of the cleanup and the remediation of the soil of the Niger Delta as a result of this long years of exploration and exploitation. I will work with you to make sure that those things are carried out. And that means at least we have representatives in the Ogoni cleanup, and that exercise must be, sped up in order to bring benefits to the people. So I welcome you. Just a way of introducing myself. I'm going to close those sessions with you, but just to say that the focus of Mr. President is very clear, that in the next 4 years, he wants to leave legacy projects behind in the Niger Delta region. And to say that if we follow the way you are working, we will never achieve that. I don't see why the Niger Delta cannot have at least one specialist hospital in the 9 states of the Niger Delta. NDC has not been able to do that. A lot of people are dying from cancer. A lot of people are dying from just mere respiratory things because they do not have oxygen in the hospitals. There should at least have been one specialist hospital. Talking about oncology, maybe a cancer center in the Niger Delta. We should have had something to do with ONG. Many of our people are coming with canoes. They have no hospitals to go to, and the avoidable deaths, infant mortality, maternal mortality rate, unemployment is on the increase. Why have we not been able to address one or two small industries, or even to encourage small and medium enterprises among the youths of the Niger Delta, or major cooperatives, to see things working? What you've been doing has been always handouts. That is why you have no peace. You go to your offices and you see over 5,000 children both inside and outside. How can you work? All waiting for handout. Those things would not have happened if you had done something like small clusters and put those children to work. When I was a governor, I had a scheme that we call Integrated Farmer Scheme, where we train those children, give them an honorarium, and at the end, we empower them with at least 1 million or thereabout to start small farm holdings. And collectively, if you do well and employ one human being, we add additional 2 million to you. If you employ 3 people, we add up to 5 million for you. And at the end, there was a lot of quantum leap in food production. But that is not happening in the Niger Delta. If we are not able to fish again on the waters, we should have fish ponds across the Niger Delta, that by now we should be able to feed the rest of the states around us. I don't know what has been happening in the Niger Delta. I remember an incident about the East-West Road. There was going to be a bypass in Eket, and then the community came out and protested, and finally they had a meeting, and I saw it on television when a former minister of the Federation coming from that region stood up and said, we will only agree to the bypass if our governor, Godswill Akpabio, will supervise this road. We will not allow you people to do something on this road unless it is handed over. Why? I go to my state and I look around. 11 years after I left the state, most of the roads I did, you don't see a single pothole. But go and look at Niger Delta Development Commission. 6 months after you commission a road, you go back there, you can't believe. So this is a meeting of brothers. We have to help our region, not just the nation. We have to help Mr. President, who is very determined to leave legacies behind in the Niger Delta. We must thank him for continuing with the amnesty program. And at the same time, we must prove to him that we are responsible enough to appreciate the amount, the enormity of the efforts, the amount going in, very sacrificial in all respects, into the NDDC. We must encourage the IOCs to also contribute money to you, so that at the end they will see yes, indeed, that it is right to do so. You are the ones that are pensionable. Politicians come and go, but there is no corruption in any agency or commission without the landlords, and you are the landlords. They have to use you. You will show them the way you have been doing it in the last 15 years, and why nothing has ever worked. And then after the agenda, they go. Well, I welcome you, all of you looking very robust. The ministry is happy to have you. I would have said we have not been doing well, but you are doing well. So this time, let's focus on the people. Welcome.